Congratulations, you have accepted an offer. But before you celebrate too hard, here's the truth. The next stage is where most problems happen. Escrow, inspections, appraisal, underwriting. Every step has deadlines, decisions, and potential pitfalls. This is where having the right realtor matters, because the goal isn't about going under contract, it's about closing smoothly. Let me walk you through what happens next. Step 1. Escrow opens. Once you accept an offer, escrow officially begins. Here's what happens right away. Buyers deliver their earnest money deposit. The title company or attorney opens the file. Your contract deadlines officially begin. Now, what do you need to do as a seller? Complete your seller information packet that the title company or attorney will send to you. This includes things like your legal name and contact information, HOA details, if any, payoff amounts for your current mortgage, any liens, solar agreements, or assessments, forwarding address for your closing documents. They will also confirm how you want to receive your funds. Wire transfer, check. They will then verify your identity and get your instructions. Respond quickly to anything the title requests. The faster you respond, the smoother the closing. Delays often happen when sellers wait on paperwork. Think of the title company as a neutral third party, making sure everything is legal, accurate, and ready for a successful closing. Your role is simple. Provide information they need, sign paperwork on time, and stay in communication. From this point on, everything becomes real, and the clock is officially ticking. Step 2, inspections. This is usually the buyer's first major step. Hiring a licensed home inspector. They'll review the roof, the HVAC, electrical, plumbing, attic, crawl spaces, foundation, structure, safety items, leaks, moisture, pests, and more. Once the inspection report comes in, this is where the next round of negotiations begin. And here's what you need to know. Most inspection reports are 40 to 70 pages long. That doesn't mean your home is falling apart. It means inspectors document everything, even tiny items. From here, the buyer typically has a few options. Request repairs, ask for a credit, ask for a price reduction, move forward as is, or walk away if they are within their inspection contingency timeline, or they could lose their escrow. Buyers own their inspection report, and they only share pieces needed to explain any repairs or credit issues. Remember, this is another negotiation stage, just like the offer, and how you respond can keep the deal together or cause it to fall apart. Here's how we approach it strategically. We focus on health and safety issues first, not cosmetic items. We separate actual concerns from normal homeownership maintenance. We look at your backup options, buyers, days on market, and demand. We keep our emotions low and communication professional. And here's something most sellers don't know. Buyers almost always expect some negotiation after the inspections, so don't be surprised. But you don't have to say yes to everything. And if you choose not to give a credit and decide to repair something yourself, it must be done properly. Most buyers and their lender and the insurance company won't accept DIY fixes. They will require a licensed contractor to perform the work, invoices, receipts as proof, photos or documentation, and in many cases, a reinspection to confirm the repairs meet safety and insurance standards. This protects both sides, and honestly, it protects you too. The last thing you want to do is a repair twice because the lender or insurance company rejected it. That's why back in video 7, we covered why repairing items early and considering a pre-inspection helps preventing red flags once you're in escrow. This stage isn't about giving in. It's about making smart, strategic decisions that keep you moving towards the closing. And those decisions matter even more if you're buying and selling at the same time. A lot of sellers start looking for their next home early, and you should. But here's the part no one explains clearly. Even if you find your perfect next home early, you cannot submit an offer with a contingency on the sale of your home unless your current home is already listed. Sellers and their agents want proof your home is truly on the market, not about to be. So what you should do is prepare early, strategically. Start as soon as your home is listed, or even a little bit before. Get pre-approved, tour neighborhoods, identify must-haves and deal breakers, monitor inventory, discuss timing and strategy with your realtor. This way, while your buyer is completing inspections, appraisal, and loan approval, you may be writing offers on your next home, completing your inspections on the home you're buying, and coordinating closing dates and planning your move. I keep one master calendar so both transactions stay aligned, because delays on one side affect the other. If anything shifts on your sale, we adjust the purchase timeline, or we use strategic options like rent back, extended occupancy, short-term or bridged financing. The goal is simple: no panic, no rushed moves, no being stuck in between two sets of keys. Step 3, appraisal. If the buyer is using a loan, the lender orders an appraisal to confirm the home's value. At this stage, your realtor should meet the appraiser when possible to provide comparable sales to support the contract price. The appraiser doesn't have to use them, but many will consider well-supported data. If it appraises at or above contract price, perfect. If it comes in low, we negotiate. Buyer brings cash, seller adjusts to the appraised price, or you meet in the middle. In rare cases, we challenge the appraisal. This is called a reconsideration of value. And it is only successful when the appraiser used incorrect data, stronger, more relevant comps were missed, a feature in your home wasn't included, measurements or adjustments were flawed. It's not common, and it has to be based on facts, not opinions. But when it's the right situation, it can absolutely save the deal. This stage is another reason why pricing strategically from the beginning matters. Step 4, loan approval and underwriting. While inspections and appraisal are happening, the buyer's lender is deep in paperwork. Underwriting is where income, assets, credit, employment, debt, and the full file is verified. Your role as a seller is small, but important. Provide documents the lender requests. Sometimes the lender just needs clarity, not because there's a problem. As underwriting wraps up, there's one final milestone on the lending side that could delay the closing. The lender issues the closing disclosure, CD. The buyer must acknowledge this document, and federal law requires a mandatory waiting period before the closing can occur. This is one of the final checkpoints before you get to the finish line. Step 5, contingency removal. Once inspections, appraisal, and financial milestones are complete, the buyer begins removing contingencies. And here's something most sellers don't realize. Contingencies are removed one at a time, not all at once. Inspection contingency is removed once inspection negotiations are finalized. Appraisal contingency is removed once the lender confirms the value. Financing contingency is removed last, either when underwriting issues the final approval or when the financial contingency deadline in the contract is reached. This is important. If the deadline arrives before the loan approval, the buyer is technically moving forward without a financial safety net. That means if something changes in their loan at the last minute, their escrow is now at risk because they no longer have the right to cancel based on financing. Each time a contingency is removed, your contract becomes more secure. Every contingency, by the way, must be removed in writing. A text message is not enough. A verbal "we're good" won't work. Your realtor needs to get it in an addendum of what it is, the contingency, and what they're removing, and that they're moving forward. This protects you legally and creates a clear record that the buyer is committed and moving forward. And here's the advantage for you. When your buyer has already cleared the inspections and the appraisal, your offer with the contingency of the sale of your home looks significantly stronger to the seller reviewing it, because your sale is far less likely to fall apart now. Step 6, preparing for closing. As we get closer to the finish line, there's just a few final steps to pull together. During this stage, you'll be confirming your move-out date and scheduling utility shutoffs for a day or two after closing, keeping your homeowner's insurance policy active through closing. Coverage must remain in place until the transfer is complete. Setting up mail forwarding and updating your address with important accounts. Scheduling movers and finalizing your transition plan. Completing one last round of paperwork with your realtor and title company, and preparing the home for the buyer's final walkthrough to confirm everything is as it was when they saw it the first time. And if you agreed to complete any repairs, there's one more piece. Finishing the repairs with the licensed contractor, providing receipts, invoice, and documentation to the title company, and coordinating the buyer's re-inspection so they can verify the work was done properly. This is before the final walkthrough. At this stage, communication is everything. When everyone stays on top of deadlines, documents, and confirmations, your closing will feel smooth, not stressful. Common pitfalls sellers should be prepared for. Even with a strong offer, certain issues can pop up during escrow. And these are the most common ones sellers should be ready for. Unexpected major repairs, low appraisal, loan delays or denials, title, lien, or permit issues, buyer's job or financial changes. And here's why we spent so much time on preparation in the earlier videos. Most issues that derail deals are preventable when you handle them before going live. That's why we talked about fixing anything needed before going live, and strategic pricing in phase 2, and disclosures, documentation, and vetting the buyer's lender for strength in phase 3. A strong realtor doesn't wait for problems. They anticipate them, prepare for them, and solve them before they become deal breakers. Accepting an offer is a big moment, but just like I said at the beginning, it's only the start. Escrow, inspections, the appraisal, underwriting, each step comes with decisions and deadlines that move you closer to closing. And now that you understand how this stage really works, you're ahead of most sellers. In the next 2 videos, we'll cover the tough scenarios, not to worry you, but to prepare you like a pro. Video 14, how to handle a deal falling apart. Video 15, what to do if your home doesn't sell at all. This isn't negative, it's strategic. I'll see you in video 14.